Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to be explaining how to gain the lifelong learning skills, or the skills in order to study or search the scriptures better. And so I chose option 4, which is the one that I just described, and it talks about 4 different hints in order to improve our scripture study. So we're just going to jump over to the first one. It says slowly and carefully read your chapter 5 times in a row, or study all the cross references and footnote resource. In my opinion, the latter one was more useful, and I'm gonna show how I was able to accomplish this instruction. So I am here in the Gospel Library in my iPhone. I think most of us read our scriptures from our iPhone, and I just follow the instruction that it says study all the cross references and footnotes. So something really cool about studying the scriptures on your iPhone is that this takes you directly to where you want to go. You don't have to flip pages or anything like that. So the very first footnote is the word angel. I clicked on that, and it takes me to a topical guide. I would not want to read all these scriptures. That would take me a long time. But what I really like to do is go to the Bible dictionary. When I read in the Bible dictionary about angels, it just blew my mind how much there is to know about angels, instead of just these personages of spirit or of a body. I mean, there are so many different things to learn from here that helped me understand the rest of the chapter better. Let's go to the second one, Pit. Pit brings up 2 different scriptures. The cool thing about this new update from the Gospel Library is that it just brings up the scripture right there. So before, you actually had to click on the scripture, and then it took you to this page, and then you had to go back, and it was just kind of annoying. Right here, you can just click, and it brings the scripture right here, so you can read it. So that's something really cool. And I saw that as I read these, cross references that it had listed, I was able to gain more insight on the chapter itself, because other scriptures from other references were helping me add some more knowledge to the understanding of the chapter. So it was a really cool way to read this fairly short chapter, only 15 verses. But I mean, you could literally just spend your whole scripture study just studying these verses. You read about angels, and then if you want to learn more about angels, you go to the different scriptures that are listed there. You can go anywhere, but the resources are there. We just need to use them wisely. Alright, the second thing it said, read your entire chapter using BibleHub.com to compare each KJV verse with other English translations. Alright, so let's go do it right now. BibleHub.com. Okay, so I like to use a different website. I think this one is a lot more organized. It's called BibleStudyTools.com. So we go to this website, and it gives you right here a drop-down menu with a lot of different translations that you can look. So for example, I went ahead and use the New International Version. I type Revelation 20 and I click find it. And then what I did was using my phone, I was able to read both translations, translation from the King James Version, and then the New International Version translation. And if you're struggling trying to understand the wording of the King James Version, the New International Version, or any of the, I guess, new versions are a lot easier to understand. So, for example, if you are trying to read the words of Isaiah or any other thing in the Old Testament that is really hard to understand, I would definitely recommend reading the New International Version. Another cool thing about this New International Version is that it has headings telling you what the verses ahead are going to be all about. So the first 6 verses is going to be about the 1,000 years, then the judgment of Satan, judgment of the dead. So it's really, really helpful, because sometimes we're reading and then we might be like, okay, what am I reading about? Oh, 1,000 years. Oh, okay, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. So it's really, really helpful. There are other versions like the New Living Translation. They're kind of similar. The only ones that I've ever really used are the King James Version and the New International Version. Alright, so the third step is look up keywords in Strong's exhaustive concordance of the Bible. Okay, so let's go back to BibleStudyTools.com. Alright, so in order to activate Strong's numbers, you're in the chapter that you want to read, and you're gonna go over here to the gear. You're gonna click it, and you're gonna activate Strong numbers. What that is that it is going to give you a definition, or more like the original translation of each word. So let's say, for example, that we want to know about the word angel. So when you click on the word angel, it should bring you into a page that's going to describe everything about the word angel. So it was said angelos in the Greek. This is how you spell in Greek. Right here you can click and it'll tell you how it is pronounced. It's pretty cool. Let me see if this works. Angelos. So that's pretty cool. So right here it tells you the definition: a messenger, envoy, one who is sent, an angel, a messenger from God. So it's pretty cool seeing the translations of each one of the words. But let's say you really want to know what serpent meant. That's something that I was wondering. Why the word serpent? What did serpent mean back then in Greek? So serpent comes from the word office, which I think it is pronounced like that.
Office.
Yeah, office. And it says right here, snake, serpent. With the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. So we see some symbolism here that serpents are emblems of cunning and wisdom. So that's like really cool, knowing different definitions of each word. The next thing was look for a definition in the Oxford Online Dictionary. Well, you simply type Oxford Online Dictionary, click on it, and then type the word that you want to find. The word that I wanted to find was brimstone, because I always heard the phrase lake of fire and brimstone, but I didn't really know what brimstone was. So I went ahead and looked, and it says a bright yellow, sulfur. So sulfur, brimstone just simply means sulfur, and so that was pretty cool. Just like you can do that with any word. And then the third thing was use GreekBible.com and analyze each verse. So I went ahead and typed GreekBible.com, and this is a really cool tool, but it could be a little confusing. So you type Revelation, you type the chapter that you want, and then let's go with Revelation chapter 2. Chapter 20, verse 2. So you said go. Brings up the verse, and it's going to say everything in Greek, which is pretty cool. And you might wonder, well, you don't speak Greek. Well, it'll tell you what each word means. So, for example, it talks about dragon. It's pronounced drakon, apparently, in Greek. And it says a dragon, a great serpent, named for Satan. But let's go to the serpent part. So it says pretty much the same definition as Bible study tools. I mean, you can do this with any other word. You simply put the verse that you want in whatever chapter, and you just try to find the word that you're looking for, and it'll tell you how it came to be in the Bible, definition, how it was used back then in the ancient times. So it was really, really cool studying this chapter using these resources. Alright, the fourth and final instruction says use scriptures.byu.edu to see how the verses from your chapter have been used in general conference. Alright, so let's go to that right now. Scriptures.byu.edu. Alright, so it's going to bring me to this page, and this is the part where I want to focus on, is the citation index. So let's go to New Testament to Revelation chapter 20. So it's going to show right here a lot of combination of verses that were cited in different conferences or talks or whatever. And so let's go to this one right here, Revelations chapter 20, verses 1 through 15, which, if we went back to the New International Version, verses 1 through 15, it's talking about the 1,000 years, and it's the whole verse, it's the whole chapter. Oh yeah, totally forgot about that. So yeah, let's go with that. So we're gonna talk about the whole chapter. Let's see where the whole chapter was mentioned. So let's say we want to read, this citation from George Buchanan. So it's going to show you where the verse or the verses were cited. And, what I did in this instance was I started reading from here. From here. And it says, if you read the 20th chapter of Revelation, you will see that the Lord revealed to John that there shall be 1,000 years rest, a millennium or millennial era, when the earth shall rest from wickedness. And it talks about the chapter. This is like probably my favorite resource, because I learned so much about the millennium while reading this, this whole talk by George Buchanan, because it also brings other scriptures into place, like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Micah. It brings everything together in the form of a talk, and it was extremely helpful. And you can do this, with any scripture. Just simply go back to the citation index again, and then click whatever scripture you want, and then simply click the verses that you think. If you just want to know who cited Zechariah 2:2, just click on it. John Taylor apparently didn't want, and then just read the things above and below to see how that scripture may be helpful to know. Well, the main purpose of this video is the same purpose of the paper, which consisted on describing the process of study and what I learned. I hope this was really helpful, and sorry for my accent. I try to speak as clear as I can. And, I really hope that you found this helpful and that you can apply these 4 steps that help me change the way I study the scriptures. And I know that scripture study is a really important commandment that God has given us in order to expand our knowledge of what He wants us to know. And I hope this was really helpful, and I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.